Just fix that. All right, it's 2:30. We are starting right on time because I got a lot to cover with y'all. People will be coming in, but we're gonna start on time because I only have an hour with y'all, which means I only have 45 minutes because I do want to leave time for at least 10 or 15 minutes so you all can get your questions answered. So that means I got to jump right in because we're going to cover so much. We're going to jump right into strategy, growing your Instagram, sales, a couple of housekeeping things though before we get started. Madeline, my assistant, is here. She'll be making sure things go smoothly. She will be communicating with you in the chat as we go through this session. She'll be sending you links to different things so that you can connect with me further. And so because I am the case study, let's talk about what we're doing here. So high level, I'm just here to give y'all value. I'm here to tell you, give you as much value as possible in this hour so you can grow your Instagram and make sales. But for me right now, you are in a sales funnel. So sit and think about that. There are three types of people in here. People that bought my academic branding book and sent proof of purchase. There are people who are actually in my Patreon community. And then there are actual Power Your Research clients, those who are in the high ticket academic branding program. So there are three types of people in here. And for me, you're here. What I'm looking to do as a part of my sales funnel is sell more books, get more Power Your Research clients, and get more Patreon members, right? And a lot of you are here, probably most of you are here because of some content that you saw on Instagram. With the exception of my Power Your Research branding clients, the rest of you are most likely here because you saw something on Instagram and you went down a sales funnel. So, right, the things that I have done are the best examples I can give you because I know that they work. And I don't teach people hypothetical theories. I teach you things that I know work, that have worked for me and that have worked for other people that have worked with me. So as you have questions though, put them in the Q&A box. So where you all were talking to me first when the chat was disabled, you'll have a higher probability of getting your question answered if you put it in the Q&A box. In the chat, Madeline will be communicating with you there, but if you put your question in the chat, it's less likely that I will see it. All right, so those are some housekeeping things. We're gonna jump right in real quick. This talk that we're doing is not about mindset. We're not talking about mindset here. We are going to be talking about strategy implementation. You're gonna walk away with a 30-day action plan that I hope all of you put into place. So everybody can see my screen, right? You can see this first slide? Yes. Thank you. All right, let's go. All right, so I said you're gonna get an action plan. So you about to get a 90-day action plan. Take out your pen, take out your notebook, start taking notes. I want you to start tomorrow. I want you to start today, right? But let's say you're gonna start tomorrow. Here's what you're gonna do in days 1 to 30 to grow your Instagram and make sales. You need to be posting 3 to 4 times a day. Yes, you heard that right. 3 to 4 times a day. When you post 3 to 4 times a day for 30 days, you have about 100 pieces of content. The reason why you need to post 3 to 4 times a day is so that you can get good and so that you can know the content that your audience wants. Again, everything that I am sharing with you, I have actually done. And I know what I'm saying is a lot to ask, but you came here to get the information so you can reach your goals, get the results, because obviously for you, if you're here, Instagram is a big part of you getting to whatever the next thing is for you. And so the other thing you want to do is get verified. So pay the money, pay Instagram the $15 a month or whatever it is to get verified. Now, some people may have gripes about this, but again, we're not talking about feelings here. We're talking about results. And the fact is, when you get verified, Instagram shows your stuff to more people. Instagram treats you better, right? We all talk about the algorithm. The algorithm will treat you better than other people if you just pay the $15 a month. It doesn't matter how we feel about it. It's just a fact, right? We got Instagram for free for a long time. Now they're asking us to pay. This is a way for you to get in front of your target audience so that you can make some money, so that you can grow your brand. So if you are not verified right now, my advice to you is to get verified starting today. So why are you posting 3 to 4 times a day for 30 days? And what should be your purpose? Well, one, your purpose should be to get good at creating content and to figure out what your audience wants so that you can make data-driven decisions in the next set of 30 days that I'm going to talk to you about. But in addition to posting 3 to 4 times a day for 30 days, here's the information that you're getting from your existing followers, right? So just by posting 3 to 4 times a day, you're going to get more followers than you currently have. But here's what you're going to learn about the people that are currently following you and the newer followers. You're going to learn who they are, what they care about, why they're here, so why they're even following you in the first place, and you're going to be documenting the answers to these questions. Now, this is super important because when you know the psychographics of people, you can create more of the content that they want, the psychographics of your target audience. So what I am saying to you, I want to be crystal clear, is literally you are asking these people, hey, what are you working on? What are your goals? What are you looking to do? Right? All of these questions based around your industry or your audience. So for me, because I talk to creatives, right? People that are trying to build creative brands, creative entrepreneurship, I'm literally in the comments, still to this day, asking people, hey, your profile looks cool. What do you do? What kind of art do you do? Send me links to your stuff, right? I'm chatting with people. And the reason why I'm chatting with people is because then I can document on an Excel sheet. We're just talking about an Excel sheet. I can document who these people are, what they're working on. And by communicating with people, people start asking you questions. And when people start asking you questions, what does that do? It helps you understand the type of content you should be posting so that you're not guessing. Because a lot of what you're going to be posting in this first 30 days, posting 3 to 4 times a day, is a lot of guessing. But when you do this extra communication work that I'm talking about, the guesses become objective facts. Now you know what these people want. So 2 critical things that you're looking for as you're communicating and documenting is who are your true fans and the psychographics of the target audience that you're trying to reach. Now, a true fan is someone that buys from you and talks about you in public. Okay, these are the people that you want to love on, the people that buy from you and talk about you in public. So a lot of times we're focused on the other people. I need to get more followers, right? You're focused on people that don't know who you are yet. When you got to reel it back and focus on the people that are already here. And so when I was doing this process, like this is actually a screenshot of an Excel sheet. It looks crazy because I was crossing out last names because I knew that I needed to share this information with you guys, but I didn't want like everybody's information out there, even though it's public. So I tried my best to cross them out. But in 2021, this is literally an excerpt from an Excel sheet when I was doing all this documentation on people that bought from me and talking about me in public. And you can see I had goals for 2022, 2023, and 2024. Because the thing about true fans and the concept, some of you may have heard of it. The concept is, if 1,000 people spend $100 on you in 1 year, you will make 6 figures, and you can play with these numbers. So you can see in 2022, I said, hey, I want to document 100 true fans that spend at least $100 on me so I can make $10,000, right? Baby steps. And so I documented those people. I communicated with them, right? I had special notes about them on this Excel sheet. One member signed up for my Patreon at $500 a month. I used to have a $500 a month tier on Patreon. I do not have that tier anymore. But this is why you are posting 3 to 4 times a month, outside of because you need to get good at creating content. You need to know who your true fans are and what they want. We need to stop looking to get answers from people that are not even following us yet and love on the existing people. So get your Google Excel sheet out and start documenting, because as we go through this 90-day process that I'm showing you right now, we get away from guessing and we start getting objective facts about the people that are following us. Okay, so the second reason why you're doing all of this posting is because you need to get clear on the psychographics of the people that follow you so that you can find more people like that. So this is a slide from my digital brand strategy guide. Some of you that are in my Patreon already, you you have my digital brand strategy guide, and you were on the last live session that I did a few weeks ago. I do quarterly lives with my Patreon community, and we talk about this stuff. But this is one of the slides. This is the psychographics of the people that follow me. Now, when you look at these bullet points, everybody in here fits into you're reading this and you're like, yeah, that's me. Dag, yes, that's me, right? So I'm talking to aspiring writers, comic creators, aspiring entrepreneurs, right? That's their identity. That's who they are. I'm talking to activists, right? I'm talking to a diverse intersection of people. I know what you all want, right? You guys want to get paid to create content or be out here in the world doing workshops and events, right? You want to connect, you want to collaborate. That's why you're here. You want to increase your income, right? This third column, how do you belong and what do you value? Collaboration, community, creativity, right? So when you see this, there's nobody in here right now that doesn't fit into this. Now, I'm not saying every single bullet point is you, but most of them probably are. And this is super important because I know when I was on my journey to build my platform, people didn't show me stuff like this, right? They just told me to post 3 to 4 times a day, keep posting. And without the back end stuff, it's hard to see the actual work that people actually do to get to where they are. Thankfully, I have an amazing creative coach that shares this stuff with me. And I saw one of my reviews from Miguel. I think you're in here. Thank you. Miguel was like, hey, like, I seen Dr. Howard when she only had 100 views and now she's here. Like, some of you have been here and like literally seen this process, and this is the back end of the stuff that I was doing. So this is why you need to be posting 3 to 4 times a day. And look, wherever you are in your journey, however many followers you have right now, you need to spend 30 days posting 3 to 4 times a day. I am doing it right now and I have 80,000 plus followers, because at each level you need to make sure that this is true, right? I need to make sure that this stuff is still true for my audience, and what modifications do I want to make, because I'm trying to go from 80,000 to 100,000, right? So when you do the work up front, posting 3 to 4 times a day, right? You're not going to be doing this forever. You get to take breaks. There is a light at the end of the tunnel. But you got to do this up front. You got to do this starting now. So after the first 30 days, you'll be able to analyze the data. Instagram gives us all the data. Make sure you have a business account or a creator account, and you'll get all of the data. And then you'll be able to see, out of those 100 pieces of content, you'll be able to see what actually worked. There's no feelings about this. What you're looking for are the 5 pieces of content after this first 30 days that worked. Now, sometimes the content that worked might be the difference of, hey, like, this post got 10 likes and this one got 11. Okay, the one that got 11 did better than the other one, right? Like, we're just talking about the numbers. So look at the content that worked based on likes, reach, and comments, right? And we'll talk a little bit more about what all of these things mean, like what reach means, what comments mean, how to all that stuff. But after this first 30 days, you're looking for 5 pieces of content that did well, because now this is going to drive the decisions that you make for the next 30 days. All right. All right. So let's pause here before we get to the next 30 days and talk about um the purpose of posting, right? So we talked about the purpose in terms of our audience and who they are and trying to figure out who they are. But I hope that everybody here wants to make some money, okay? Um, the whole purpose of the academic branding book is to teach you how to increase your visibility, authority, and income. So I hope that we're all on the same page with making some money. And if that is the case, when you post a piece of content, you should be doing one of three things. You should be posting it for brand awareness, that is getting more people to find you; brand trust, that is getting people to find you credible and trust you; brand customer means getting people to pay you for something. Okay. I call this the 3 B's because it's just easier for me to remember that way. But basically, these 3 buckets are a sales funnel. Sales funnels big at the top. I just got to get awareness. I got to, more people have to know me. More of the right people have to know me. Then I got to get them to trust me. Then I got to get them to be a customer. The research shows that people have to see your thing like 6 to 8 times before they buy. Some people have followed me for a year before they would even spend $3 joining my Patreon. Because when you're asking somebody to come out of their pocket and buy something from you, even if it's just $1, that's a big ask. Sometimes I think we get frustrated, like, oh, my thing is so cheap and nobody's buying it. But like, people gotta open their credit card, put their numbers in. Like, there's a lot of vulnerability in buying stuff that I think we overlook as creators because we're just thinking about the end goal, right? So build awareness, build trust, build customers. That is what you are doing when you are posting content on Instagram. Most of your pieces of content are not going to be doing all of these. Some of them can do multiple, like you might have a brand awareness post that also builds trust. But if it's not pushing people down the funnel, meaning the path to a customer, then you shouldn't be posting it. Like I would rather just post pictures of my son all day on Instagram, but that ain't gonna help me pay my son's tuition, right? You feel me? So, right, you have to stick to the strategy so that you can get to the next level of whatever it is you're trying to do. So who are you posting for? Again, you have to know specifically who you are posting for and what they want from you. And sometimes I forget. And I this is why you have to document. A lot of times we hold things in our head and we think we can remember it all. And so we don't do this work of creating a brand strategy guide. This brand strategy guide is 30 pages. I'm going to send this brand strategy guide to you after this. So you'll see the whole thing. You'll see how detailed this is. But sometimes I forget and I got to go back here and get grounded to be like, okay, this is who I'm talking to and this is who they want. Listen, on Instagram, y'all only want me to talk about 5 things, and I know what those 5 things are. So really it becomes less creative and more about you're just following the path that you know works, right? Y'all want me to remind y'all to get up and follow your dreams. Y'all want strategy on how to network and how to do big things. Y'all want to know how to increase your income, right? It's 5 things that y'all want me to talk to you about. And those are the 5 things, right? This makes it a lot more manageable, right? In this way. All right. So that's a work for the first part. Days 61 to hold on. Skip too much. Days 31 to 60. All right. So you posted 3 to 4 times a day. You've communicated with your people. You've talked to them. You've documented on an Excel sheet. Y'all, I know this is a lot of work. I know. But you're not going to have to do it forever. You're going to get breaks. So on days 31 to 60, remember I said there are 5 pieces of content that probably stood out. You're going to post more of the content that worked. And now you're going to have 30 more days of content because all you're doing is posting different variations of the content that worked. Right? So if I have five pieces of content that work, and let's say one video was me talking about I don't know, here's how I got to write for Marvel Comics. Well, I'm going to take that one video, and since that was a video and I know it worked, now I'm going to turn it into a carousel. So a carousel are like those 10 slides that you see people posting where they're getting you to swipe all the way to the end and they're like telling a story. So now I'm going to take that video and make it a carousel. Now I'm going to take whatever, I'm going to study these 5 pieces of content. I'm going to try to turn it into a meme, right? When people share your stuff and they add their own comment, I'm studying, okay, when people share this, what are they saying? Because that's giving me insight into my audience. Okay, so now I'm going to lean into that. So days 31 to 60, you're already so much further along because you're posting the things that you know work and you're posting variations of that for these 30 days. Now, I got some more hard news for you because in these 31 to 60 days, I need you to continue posting 3 to 4 times a day. Now, if anybody in here is a Power Your Research client of mine, I honestly don't tell my clients this part because I know it's kind of discouraging, right? So I tell them, hey, for the first 30 days, post 3 to 4 times a day. And I tell them for the next 30 days, I'm like, all right, you can take a break. But really, if I'm being honest, you need to still be posting 3 to 4 times a day in this next 30-day segment. Because now you have better information and now you're putting yourself in a better position for your content. I'm not going to say for your content to go viral, but for your content to get more shares, more likes, more comments, more engagement, because you're operating from a place of objectivity as opposed to guessing. So this next 31 to 60 day period, you're still posting 3 to 4 times a day. You're posting different variations of the content that worked from the first 30-day period. All right. Make sense? Okay, so we already talked about why you're posting, brand awareness, brand trust, brand customer, who they are. So days 61 to 90, now you can take a break and post once a day. Okay. But what you're doing in days 61 to 90 is now you will have more laser focused content, right? You'll have more laser focused content because you'll have 60 days of content that is closely aligned with the psychographics of your audience and what they want. And so this is the break that you're looking for. And we're going to go even deeper into all of these things with me as the case study in a second. I have paid multiple content creators through my process, whether it be courses and one-on-one coaching, and different people have different philosophies. And so in me paying all of these different people, there's a lot of things that didn't work. Like this session that I'm doing with you right now, I'm skipping past most of the things that didn't work and looking in hindsight back at the things that did work so that you can get the results quicker than me. But I had one content creator say, that they post 3 to 4 times a day and they have like 250,000 followers and they still post 3 to 4 times a day or 2 to 3 times a day. And then I have another content creator that I paid to coach me who has just as many followers. And she was like, hey, like I only post once a day and I just post laser focused content that I know my audience likes. And so when I look back on my journey, I think both are true. I think at the beginning, I don't know any way else to get good at something but to do it. And that's why I say post 3 to 4 times a day. That's what I did. That's what worked. That's how I got better. When a lot of you on here may have found me, I probably was only posting once a day because I had already did all of this other work and I was taking the mindset of creative coach that I paid that said, hey, just get laser focused and post once a day. Plus, like posting 3 to 4 times a day is stressful, yo. It's a lot. So, and I'm not a content creator. Like the content creators that I was paying to teach me, They're content, like they like this. Like they got the fancy cameras and the lighting. I'm a writer, right? I'm using this because it's important for me to get to where I'm going. I'm not trying to have a $2,000 camera and all this extra stuff. All right. So in days 61 to 90, okay, this is the last 30-day period of this strategy. You're posting once a day, but now I want you to run ads. Now, you're not going to go crazy and run ads all willy-nilly and waste your money and get frustrated. No. You're going to pick 2 posts that are standout posts, because by now you posted like 200 pieces of content. Okay, so and I want you to run ads at the beginning at like day 61. Okay? Because day 61 to 90 and basically for the rest of your life, or the rest of your use of Instagram, you need to at least post once a day. The beginning of day 61, I want you to run ads. You're gonna find 2 posts that did really well. So by this time, you're gonna have a couple of posts that stood out, right? That did a lot better. You're gonna run $5 ads for 6 days, right? So you're not spending a ton of money. And when I say run ads, y'all, I'm not talking about like anything sophisticated, like you going all into Meta Business Suite. No, on Instagram, at the bottom it says boost post. That's what I'm talking about. So where it says boost post, you're going to click boost post, and Instagram gives you the option to pick the audience for you based on your current followers. That's the one you want, because you want to find more people like the people that already like you. So you're going to run a boost post, and you're going to tell Instagram to find more people like your current audience. Easy. Again, don't go crazy with this. Don't be spending $20 a day. You take it slow, because otherwise you're going to feel defeated. Now, what I don't want y'all to do, because I know how the human brain works, you like, oh, I'm just going to skip that first 60 days that she talked about. I'm going to run ads right now because I got this. No, don't do that, because you're going to be disappointed. The one thing I learned is it's not any shortcuts. You like the one thing that I learned, because it took me long to get where I needed to go on Instagram, was I was always trying to take shortcuts. I was like, I'm gonna skip that part. I'm gonna try to. I know Madi is the content creator that has helped me the most, because I've taken all of his courses. I'm like, I'm gonna skip that 3 to 4 times a day posting. I'm just gonna go right to something else that seems like easier. You can't do that. Like, the work is the work. It's there for a reason. And as you will see, going through this session, the work is going to help you later on. So the things that I did when nobody was paying attention, when I was posting 3 to 4 times a day and I'm crying in the middle of Philadelphia because I'm stressed because I've been working so hard, those things that I had to do are things that still serve me even now that I have 80,000 plus followers. So please, please, please don't jump ahead. Follow the program. Okay, sales funnels. How do we make money off of this thing, right? If you're gonna put in all of this work, we need to be making some money. So let's just talk real quick about the purpose of the different pieces of content on Instagram. So you got carousels. Carousels are like the 10 slides that you see me use where I'm telling a story or teaching you something. Instagram gives you 10 images. I like to use all 10 because I want to keep you on the page. I want to keep you sliding. If you think your storytelling is good enough, use all 10. I like to use all 10. I mean, I have a bunch of things that I share with my Patreon members, and like a bunch of different things I share. Like I have a course. Wait, do I still have that course? No, I think I took that course down. But anyway, I teach y'all how to tell a good story using a carousel, and I give you the template in my Patreon community. But the purpose of a carousel, right? Because you got to make sure you match the piece of content up with your goal. The purpose of your carousel is to build trust and credibility. Okay? The purpose of a carousel is to build trust and credibility. That's why you will see when I post carousels, or you can even look at other content creators that you follow that you like, the carousels get the most engagement. People are commenting, people are sharing, because it builds credibility. Remember, we talked about the 3 B's, okay? Brand awareness, brand trust, brand customer. Reels are actually not for your existing people that follow you. Reels actually go beyond the existing people that follow you, and Instagram shows it to other people. So I think one thing that we get wrong about Reels is when we post a video, we have to remind ourselves that somebody that has never seen me before is probably more likely to see this reel than my existing followers. And so when you record that video, you need to have that understanding, because you're talking to a stranger, and you're talking to that stranger for what? Brand awareness. So they can come to your page, or they can click on your profile, right? And then stories. Stories are where you're going to make sales, because the people that click on your stories are more than likely people that already follow you, and people that just are, they want to know more, right? Think about why you click on people's stories. Stories allow you to post links so you can send people to the thing to purchase. Here's a quick little bonus tip. You know, the 10 image carousels that you see me post? Sometimes if I'm not sure if that carousel is going to meet the mark and do well, I can put those 10 slides in my stories first. You know why? Because when you, as the creator, when you look at your stories, you can easily see how many people viewed it. So if I post those 10 slides in my stories and I see the first image had 100 people view it, the second image had 90 people view it, the third image only had 20 people view it, that means I know that something happened between the second and third image that made people drop off. So I got to go and make that carousel at the second or third slide a little bit better before I post it to my feed. It's literally data, right? And so I do this with you all the time. If I'm like, hey, I want to post this carousel, but I'm not sure if it's going to work, I'll put it in my stories. I'll see if people stayed to the end. So like if I post the slides to my stories and the first slide has 100 people that viewed it, and by the time I get to the 10th slide, I can see that 90 people viewed it, that's pretty good retention rate. I definitely posting that to my feed. Okay. So that's the purpose of these pieces of content, and start thinking about, okay, how am I matching these pieces of content and the purpose to the sales funnel so that I can meet my goals. All right, trigger words, right? So we all have been on the other end of trigger words. Trigger words are where someone will say, hey, comment the word book and I'll send you a link to the book. Or DM me the word Wakanda and I'll show you how you can get an autographed copy of Wakanda. If you're in here, I'm sure you have all been down this sales funnel with me, right? But trigger words should be used after you've trained the audience a little bit. Okay, so for some of you, you haven't built up a rapport with your audience yet to go tell them to hey, comment book so I can send you a link. Right? If you haven't trained your audience to communicate with you, you got to do that work first. That again, that's what the whole 60 days is about too, because people got to be comfortable posting that trigger word in the comments or posting that trigger word in the DMs. And so before you start trying to use trigger words and automate it, right? Because I know a lot of times we're like, oh, how can I use trigger words and just automate it? I'm for those of you that don't know, I know a lot of you may know, but the program that I use is ManyChat, ManyChat. We'll come back to ManyChat later on, but ManyChat allows you to automate the trigger words. But I don't want you to do that yet until you've actually have an audience that's activated enough to type the trigger word in your comments or to DM you the trigger word, because psychologically it's going to mess you up. Like if you haven't trained your audience yet and your audience isn't robust enough yet, and you haven't really done the things that I'm talking about in like the 90-day strategy that I'm talking about, like it's going to mess with your confidence. I know it will mess with mine if I like. So don't jump ahead. Here's what I want you to consider first in terms of a sales funnel before you jump into trigger words and automating it. This is the early sales funnel that I used basically all the way up until October of 2023. And it was a mailing list sales funnel. And I'm going to show you the steps. So what I would do is I would post content, right? Because I was doing all this work, the work that I just showed you. Every new person that would follow me, every single one, I would message them and say, "Hey, as a thank you for following me," here's the exact message. "As a thank you for following me, I'm tossing you a free download of my Amazon #1 best-selling book, Nina's Whisper. It's a great place to start to get to know me as a writer." I'm telling y'all, people were so excited to get this free book. Like, talk about building up trust and credibility and then getting people's email addresses. I mean, like, the response rate on giving people this free book and getting their email address was so high. Now, yes, I did, and I did this like manually, y'all. So I would call this semi-automated. So in Instagram, there's a feature, it's called saved reply. So I have like 10 saved replies. So basically you can put a code word like book, and when you type in book in your message, it'll then write the rest of this message. So it'll write the full message for you. As a thank you for following me, blah, blah, blah. And so everybody that would follow me, I would send them this free, and literally like the PDF of the book, y'all, that is currently sitting on Amazon. And what that did was it got people to give me their email address, and then I would send them down an email sequence, right? So this was literally the sales funnel. Post some good content, get people to follow me. Every person that followed me, send them a free book link. Now for you, if you're not a writer, right, we have lots of different people selling lots of different things. It doesn't have to be a book. It has to be something of value, y'all. And I'm not talking about something that you just threw together for 5 minutes as a lead magnet. Let me tell you something. Sometimes we throw together these things because we think we're going to be a lead magnet, and then people open it and you're actually losing credibility because they can tell that you didn't spend time on, didn't help them do anything. Like literally, I gave people a free book. The book took me a year to write. Like it's like, so give them something that actually is of value. Got their email address, delivered them the free book. Then I put them through an email sequence, which the email sequence was basically like this. After a few days, it will say, "Hey, just making sure you got the book. I want to remind you to read it. You know, here's the book again in case you didn't get it." A few days later, it was like, "Hey, by now you should have read the book." And I was honest with them. I was like, "I'm trying to be a writer full time. I gave you this book for free. I hope you will take the time to actually purchase the book and leave a review." So I use this sales funnel all the way up until October of 2023 manually, y'all. Semi-automated because I use the save reply, sending everybody that followed me a free book. I do not do it anymore because I have way too many followers to do that. But this is the precursor to getting there. And so just with this funnel alone, I got 53 reviews on Amazon for a self-published book, y'all. Right? And you can see all the way to October 16, 2023, when I just told y'all that I had stopped using this particular funnel, it was working. So this all trained me. This all trained me to put the proper practices in place so that when I did finally jump in followers, I knew exactly what to do. I already had my stuff set up. Right? To me, the worst thing to do is to just go viral by accident and you don't have anything set up. You don't know how to handle all of these people that are following you. Because I had to take the long road, I knew exactly what to do. I had a lot of things already set up. So then I went viral. But let's recap though, because I went back and I took the time to look at the date so I can be as specific as possible with y'all. Because I want y'all to understand, like, sometimes we see people, they have something that we're trying to achieve and it looks fun and it looks like it was an overnight success, but we don't get this backstory. I started posting on Instagram in October 2021 when my creative coach at the time, I did 6 weeks of creative coaching with him. He was like, "Yo, you got to get on Instagram." And I was like, "No, I don't want to do it." And he was like real sad about it. And then I thought about it and I was like, if I'm gonna pay somebody to coach me, I probably should listen to them. Otherwise, why am I paying them? That's just dumb. So I did what he said. And so from October 2021, when Will told me to get on Instagram, to September 1st, 2023, I went from 2K to 5K followers. Yeah, you read that right. I only went to listen. That's not a lot of followers for all the work that I just described to you. And I didn't even show you all the stuff that I tried that didn't work. In 2022, I started buying courses from Madi. I talk about Madi a lot on my platform. He has amazing online courses that have really helped me a ton. I was in this phase, October 21 to 2023, 2 years. I was documenting my true fans, my psychographics, my everything that I just taught y'all. By the time I hired another coach. She costs $1,500 a month. I'm not gonna say her name. I'm honestly, she didn't teach me that much. We've all hired coaches that, but every experience, even when we buy a program or whatever that doesn't work, we still learn. So I still learned, but it was one of those things where like everybody that has what you want is not a teacher. They can get it, but they can't teach other people how to get it. This is very important in terms of hiring coaches. So I hired this coach, paid her $1,500 a month. This was February 2023. But by the time I got to her, I was frustrated because we're talking 2 years, y'all. And I'm like, yo, I'm tired. I've done posted like 1,000 pieces of content. And my first question to her was, I've been doing all the things and I have not grown that much. Tell me what you usually don't tell people. Cause I thought it was some secret. I was like my question there was like, what have I not done that y'all do that y'all just not telling people? And she basically was like, keep doing what you're doing. That like she didn't have a program or anything. But when I hired her, I started to document on an Excel sheet on my own, to give her a picture of everything that I had done. And I'm going to share that Excel sheet with you because it's really extensive. I have a little sample of it here. You're going to get this. Basically, this is an Excel sheet of everything that failed, basically. This is a lot longer than this, but on here I had competitors. Some of y'all in here might be on this sheet. And so this was important for me because I started tracking, okay, what pieces of content are working. I had the little links to all of my pieces of content that were working. I had like the pain points because at first for like 2 years, I thought that I wanted to be talking to writers about how to increase their visibility, authority, and income. But writers don't care that much, or like they think they got it. So like basically I was doing all this work talking to the wrong people, but I had to learn that. And when I look back, I realized that I learned it by the things that I'm sharing with you right now. So you'll get this entire Excel sheet. By the time I got to this point though, I'm like fed up. I'm like, I just did all of that for 2 years and I just kept telling the coach, like, my brand on Instagram does not match who I actually am in my body of work. It was so frustrating. So now we're 7 months out from my first viral post. So from February 2023 to August 2023, I'm crying. Like literally when I some of y'all seen the post where I was like, this app has made me cry, blah, blah, blah. I got to speed this up because I know we're at 3:13. I'm posting every day still. I'm posting laser focused content once a day. That I want to point out that while I was frustrated that I wasn't growing at the rate that I wanted to grow, I was making 6 figures off of these 5,000 followers and taking my family to Paris, cash paid. So when you hear content creators say it's not about the number of followers, it's about the quality of followers in terms of just monetizing a small account, I can verify that 100%. I was making 6 figures off of 5,000 followers, y'all, using those Instagram sales funnels that you just saw, the mailing list sales funnel. And since I was talking so much about writing at that time, I was getting like my big ticket funnel is writing for celebrity CEOs and social impact companies. So I was getting clients because I was posting about writing. Like now my content is not just about writing, it's for creatives. But you know what I think was the game changer for me? The work plus when I started running the $5 a day ads, because right before I went viral, I started running ads to 2 posts that were doing really well, the exact thing that I just taught you. Then I went viral. So I'm verified on Instagram. I'm paying them monthly, and I spent some money on ads. I feel like the ads part was the thing that people didn't tell me. The content creators didn't tell me. And I get it, because if you log off of this session and you just go start running ads, it's not going to work, yo. You got to know who your audience is and what post to run ads to. Otherwise, you're just flushing your money down the toilet. All right, so I'm going to speed this up a little bit because I want to get to the Q&A. We only have until 3:30. I'm happy to stay a little bit longer for y'all. But some of y'all are here because of the post that went viral. So because of these few posts that went viral, I went from 5K to 50K in 2 weeks. People call that an overnight success, but as you just saw, it wasn't overnight. So it was the Marvel Comics post where I talked about, hey, here's why I wrote for Marvel, because I went to Fiverr.com and I paid somebody to get the email address and I emailed them. That was one of the posts that went viral. Within that same week, the other post that went viral was, hey, my teacher accused me of cheating. These were all video posts that went viral. Remember, I talked about reels. Reels go beyond just your followers. And so they have a better chance of going viral. And then the other post that went semi-viral was a post where I was talking about, hey, my dissertation committee didn't believe in me and I didn't get distinction. Now you will notice I still post these same exact pieces of content from September 2023. So like, none of what I'm telling you is hypothetical. So when you find posts that work, repurpose them, because not everybody sees it. Like every 3 months, y'all gonna see the same post from me, right? There's like a few posts, carousels, videos, whatever, that do well. You can repost them. Don't give yourself more work. All right, so here's what I learned and here's what I still do today at 80K plus followers. The hard way is the hard way, but the path that I took benefits me today. By the time I went viral, I already had things set up. I already had links set up. I already had my link tree. I use Linktree to send people down to the different things that they can buy from me. I already had my sales funnel set up for Patreon, which is, hey, you can get into my Patreon and I'll send you a free book. But still to this day, some of y'all in here have at least gotten an audio message from me before. I respond to every even on the viral post, y'all. I promise you, like, the thing could have like 500,000 likes and a bunch of comments, and I probably responded to 90% of them. And I think about the beginning when I had between 2,000 and 5,000 followers, and I remember the mindset that I was in. I didn't even feel like responding to all those people, and it wasn't that many. It was probably like 5 people a week that was commenting. I wasn't, because those things that people tell you to do when you don't have a lot of followers, you have to do them every day. It is small incremental steps that quite honestly don't feel like they're doing anything. But they are. And so now I have a practice and it works. Again, the one thing that I wish people had told me was the running ads thing, but again, you can't run the ads until you've done all of this work. I'm sharing you something that will fast track this for you. I cut out all of the things that pretty much didn't work. So right now, I make sure I comment on other people's accounts that have an audience that I want. So people like Alex Hormozi, Gary V, find the people that have big accounts, comment on their stuff. Some of you may have seen me on Alex Hormozi's show. It's because I was commenting on his stuff. Sometimes Gary V pins my post. This brings in more followers. I go live with other people regardless of the number of followers. So I'll go live with somebody that only has 4,000 followers if they have an audience that I want to get in front of. I run trigger word sales funnels using ManyChat. And right now I'm in a phase where I'm posting 3 to 4 times a day because I'm trying to get to 100,000 followers. So the last like year, I've just been posting once a day. But now I'm back. I'm back to the same process, y'all, because to get to the next level, this is what I got to do. If you like want more of this stuff, jump into my Patreon. I know Madeline has put the link in the chat. Listen, I'm about to jump into the Q&A. I got 10 minutes. I'm happy to stay on a little bit longer. I want to respect your time. What I need you to do is take your phone right now. This is going to take 2 minutes. I want you to leave me feedback. And when you leave me feedback, you're actually going to get an email. Please do this right now while I'm talking. You're going to get an email with these slides. You're going to get an email that has my digital brand strategy guide, the 30 pages of my digital brand strategy guide. You're going to get an email with my contact information so that you can email me if you want to connect with me, if you have a follow-up question. Um, what else are you going to get? Oh, you're going to get that Excel sheet that I created with a lot of my failed pieces of content. So take your phone, scan that QR code for me right now. It's going to literally take 2 minutes for you to answer the questions. I want to make sure I gave you some value here today and some education here today that you can take and that's actionable and that you can use. In about 5 minutes, you'll get the email with all of those items in a PDF to your email address. Do that for me. Again, I know Madeline has posted this in the comments. If you want a 1-hour call with me, buy 3 copies of Academic Branding for your friends. Send proof of purchase to Sheena@poweryourresearch.com. You'll get a free 1-hour call with me to go deep into your question or to do an IG live with me. You get to choose. But again, high level for me. I'm here to sell more books. I'm here to get more people in my Patreon. And I'm here to get more Power Your Research clients. Most importantly, I hope that I've given you value. Here are some tools that I use. If you fill out that survey, you're gonna get this in the PDF. I want to jump into questions right now. And so I'm gonna stop sharing my screen and I'm gonna check these questions out. Second. All right, let's go. Are any of these techniques scalable or relevant to LinkedIn? So LinkedIn is where I run my academic branding sales funnel for my high ticket course. Most of everything I just taught you is communication. So yes, but each platform has its own different idiosyncratic things. I don't use these techniques on LinkedIn. I use some but the communication piece, the audio message, the building credibility, the brand awareness, brand trust, brand sales, same. The content that you post on LinkedIn or anywhere else should be driving people down the sales funnel. So again, for people that didn't hear that question, it said, are any of these techniques scalable, relevant to LinkedIn? Somebody said, when you say repost, please clarify. Do you mean send a new post to the feed again of the older content and so it shows up? When I say repost, I mean for the pieces of content for you that did really well, you can repost them every 3 months. For example, some of you have been following me long enough to know that I reposted the same carousels multiple times. When I want guaranteed engagement, I will post a carousel that I know that is going to give me guaranteed engagement based on a carousel that I posted before. Now, here's the thing. You can change some words up, you can modify it. So if some of you have seen this post, it's me and my son, and I say I was $60,000 in debt 6 years ago sleeping on my mother's couch. I posted that every 3 months because Instagram doesn't show your stuff to anybody. Like, so if you know it's going to work and Instagram doesn't show your stuff to everybody, post it again. But you also have the benefit of just changing some words around a little bit, because I can easily say I was $30,000 in debt 3 years ago, right? Variations. Don't make it harder than it has to be. So yes, you can repost content that you know works. And sometimes if it's a piece of content that didn't do well, but you're like, yo, I just want to post this again because I think it's gonna do well. Maybe it was bad timing, maybe it was a bad time of day. Post it again and try it out. Somebody say you use lives a lot. What is the main purpose of them? To build trust and credibility. So when you can see me live, you know that like I'm real, like I drink tea, right? And so it brings people closer in. Every time I go live, I at least get like 1 or 2 Patreon members. You can give more value. So the purpose of the live is to gain more trust, credibility, send people down to things that I want them to buy. But I don't always sell anything on. Sometimes I just come on to talk to y'all to build trust and credibility. Somebody said, let's say that I know what people want and what I'm good at because I had some successful videos. What else do I post besides the carousel still images? Well, Instagram only gives you a few options: videos, carousels, still images, stories. Those are your options. You can go live, you can do lives. Um, how do you get verified on Instagram? You pay. If you look into your account, you just pay them $15. You got to send them your license and they will verify you. You'll get the blue check. Oh, someone said when you are talking about posting multiple times per day, how do you recommend these posts be staggered through the day? Morning, middle of the day, evening. And when you post 3 to 4 times a day, you get the benefit of figuring out what time to post. So when I stopped posting 3 to 4 times a day and started posting once a day, it was 6 a.m. If I would post something at 6 a.m. every day, and I knew that it was going to do well because you know what was happening? As soon as people wake up from sleep, they check their phone, open their app, and then you're going to see my face. Now that has since changed because the algorithm changes, and that's why I'm posting 3 to 4 times a day now, so I can figure out all of this stuff all over again so that I can go back to posting once a day. I'm about to do a group thing in Patreon where I'll tell y'all, hey, I'm going to start posting 3 to 4 times a day for 30 days and we can do it together. So if that's something you're interested in, jump into my Patreon, we can do it together. And yeah, that's just what you got to do. Is posting frequency specific to IG or does it also apply to using Twitter or LinkedIn? Again, each platform has its own thing. I what what I will say is when I was trying to figure out how to just make posting easier for the video portion, because I liked TikTok's video editor better, I would post to TikTok and then I would use an app called TickSave, which would remove the TikTok watermark, and then I would just post it on Instagram because both TikTok and Instagram like videos. The videos would always do better on Instagram because Instagram just allows you to build more of a connection with your audience and monetize. TikTok is like people are there for entertainment and it's hard to get close to them, right? So each platform, you got to dedicate the time, the space, and the place for each platform if you want to get good at that platform. For me, I take platforms one at a time, and I'm always late, to be honest. Like I was late to Instagram, I was late to Twitter, but Twitter was the first place that I got verified when like getting verified meant that you had to like, I don't know, they thought you were somebody. And then I moved from Twitter to Instagram. Now, what is the next thing for me after Instagram? I don't know, but I have been posting to TikTok. I think I got 3,000 followers over there, but I don't take it that seriously. So I'm the type of person like master one thing and go to the next. For LinkedIn, I have a marketing agency that runs that because there's a whole sales funnel involved. And at some point you have to outsource. You just can't do it all. But you gotta know what you're outsourcing. So know your audience. All right, let me see. I think I got time for one more question, y'all. Do you recommend planning out those 3 to 4 posts a day? And if so, how much runtime? So I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I don't have a content calendar. Most of what y'all seeing is I'm looking at my phone and talking to y'all. I used to edit them myself. I do not now. I have an editor. And so the process for me is like I look at my phone, I talk, I text it to my editor. My editor edits it. He puts it in the Dropbox folder. So I got like 100 pieces of content in my Dropbox folder. And then every day I just go to the Dropbox folder and post. I'm just telling y'all what I do. There's no content calendar here. Now, I do teach my clients something called a 3H system. It's Google's 3H system. You can look it up. It's also in my digital strategy guide that you will get if you filled out that survey. We can talk about it if you are a Power Your Research client. It's an overall schedule of posting. It's called the 3H system. You can look it up. But me, I don't have a content calendar. When I want breaks, I will use Hootsuite. Hootsuite is not that great, to be honest, but I use it because that's where I started. That's HOOTSUITE. Like for me in March, I'm going to be taking a lot of breaks, so I will schedule out content for weeks at a time because I need a break. But for the most part, it's just me just I once you know what your audience wants, it's just I know what y'all want me to talk about because I did all this posting. So I'm not talking about something outside of the five things. For now, I am a little bit because I'm trying to get to 100K, so the audience has shifted a little, and I got to make sure I still know who my people are. Can you share how you compare posts in Excel? Yes, if you filled out that survey, you will get that Excel sheet, and you'll see how I did it. I share other Excel sheets on Patreon if you want to jump in there for $3. My people know I'm sharing behind the scenes stuff all the time. All right, yo, type a one if this was helpful, please. Let me know. I need some feedback. Can you type a one in the chat, please, if this was helpful? I hope that this was worth your time. There is so much more to talk about, y'all. I probably told y'all like 1% of the things. I actually feel kind of bad. Um, Somebody said, "Where's the link to the survey?" If you hold on 1 second, Miguel, I will put the link in the chat for you for the survey for those that missed it. Give me let me see if I can get to it. Give me 1 second. Thank you. I'm glad that this was useful, yo. It's so much that I want to give y'all, and like, yo, I only got an hour to talk to y'all. I think I just got the link, Miguel. I'm gonna put it in the chat right now. All right, if you didn't fill out that survey, there's the link. That's how you're gonna get all of the resources. I'm gonna send you a video copy of this regardless, but for those that want the PDF, the digital brand guide, the Excel sheet, the slides, fill out the survey. Okay, good. I'm glad this was helpful. I got a bunch of ones. Thank you. Okay, great. Listen, I wish I could spend all day with y'all. Okay, beautiful, beautiful. All right, y'all. I love you. Seriously. Thank you for being here. Reach out to me. If you filled out the survey, you have my contact information. Email me anytime. Jump into my Patreon. I want to see y'all in there so we can help each other. And let me go ahead and post today's piece of content. All right, y'all. Peace.